You want her back. I get it. But if you're falling for the same tired tactics that keep you stuck, chasing, and blocked, you're about to waste months trying to shortcut that just don't work. Let me show you what actually does work. Listen, I know what it feels like. She's cold, distant, maybe even blocked you. You're scrolling through YouTube looking for the magic phrase that'll make her feel something again. But here's the truth that no one's telling you. Fast fixes feel fake, okay? She doesn't need another promise. She doesn't need a grand gesture. She needs proof. Proof that the man that she fell in love with is still in there, and he's finally ready to lead. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to fix a crack in a foundation by just painting the walls. It looks better for a day, maybe even a week, but underneath, that house is still falling apart. The foundation is still broken, and eventually, those cracks start showing through the paint. That's what most guys are doing. They're trying to fix surface level problems with surface level solutions. But the real danger is much deeper. And until you address the foundation, until you rebuild the core of who you are and how you lead, nothing on the surface will hold. Not because you convince her with words, but because your energy, your presence, and your actions rebuild what words can't. That's what we're about to break down. So let's start with the stuff that doesn't work. Because if you don't understand what keeps you stuck, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes. So bullshit tactic number 1 is giving her space. This is the worst advice floating around out there. Everyone says, just give her space. She'll come back around. But here's what's actually happening. You give her space, she pulls further away. The silence gets louder. And before you know it, you're not giving her space. You're giving her permission to move on without you. Space doesn't rebuild trust. It creates distance. And distance doesn't heal wounds. It lets them fester. BS tactic number 2 is being the nice guy. You think if you're just nicer, more agreeable, more accommodating, she'll remember why she fell in love with you. Wrong. Nice guys don't create safety. They create uncertainty. Because when you put her needs in front of your own, you lose your voice. She doesn't see a leader. She sees someone who is afraid. Someone who's walking on eggshells. Someone she can't rely on when life gets hard. Your wife doesn't want a nice guy. She wants a man who can hold frame when everything is falling apart. And BS tactic number 3, therapy without action. Look, I'm not against therapy. But if all you're doing is talking about the problems without implementing real change, you are just rehashing old pain. Therapy keeps you stuck in the past. She doesn't need you to understand what went wrong. She needs you to prove that things are different now. So imagine you're driving down the highway and the check engine light comes on. You can't talk about what might be wrong all day, right? But until you pop that hood and fix the actual issue, the lights are still going to be on for that check engine light. That's what most guys are doing. They're having endless conversation about what's broken, but never actually fixing it. And this is why most men feel stuck. They're following advice that sounds good, but leads to nowhere. Now, if you're sitting here realizing that you've been falling for the stuff, don't beat yourself up. You didn't know, and now you do. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start leading with clarity, I want to invite you to book a free call with me and my team. We'll walk you through exactly how to rebuild trust, reignite connection, and lead your family back to safety using the heroic husband method. That link's in the description below. But right now, let's keep going because I'm about to show you what actually works. And here's the shift. You can't talk your way back into her heart. You have to become the man that she can trust again. And that starts with 3 things. The first is strength. You must stop chasing. When you chase her, she feels the pressure. Pressure reminds her of everything that she's trying to escape. When you stop chasing and you start rebuilding your center, she can finally breathe. She starts noticing, even from a distance. Because strength doesn't beg, strength doesn't panic, strength stays calm, grounded, and patient. Number 2 is safety. You create emotional space. She blocked you because she doesn't feel safe with you yet. Not physically, emotionally. She needs to know that when she opens up, you're not going to react, you're not going to defend, and you're not going to make her feel worse for finally being honest. Safety means that you can hold space for her without making it about you. Number 3 is steadiness. You show up consistently. This is one of the that most guys actually miss. They make a change for a week, maybe 2, then they slip back into old patterns. And she sees it. Trust isn't rebuilt in a day. Trust is rebuilt through repetition. Every calm response, every moment you don't react, every time you show up as the man she needs, not the man that you were, that's when she starts to believe again. Let me tell you about Ian. Ian was blocked for months. No contact, no updates, nothing. Instead of trying to talk his way back, He doubled down on his leadership. He rebuilt his discipline, trained his mind, stayed steady and calm, even when it hurt. Then one day, she reached out. She said, I don't know why, I just feel like I can talk to you again. That's it. No begging, no pressure, just a shift that she felt before she even understood it. And that's the power of the heroic husband method. Now, this doesn't happen by accident. There's a system. It's called the emotional layering protocol, and it's built on 3 stages. Stage 1, emotional healing process. This is where you stop the bleeding, you open up communication without pressure, you create safety so that she can finally express what's been bottled up. And this is where most guys skip this step and wonder why nothing's changing. Stage 2 is the emotional shifting process. This is when you turn bad memories into good ones, not by erasing the past, but by rewiring the present. You're showing her through your actions that the man that she's scared of is gone, and the man that she needs is here. Stage 3 is the emotional bonding process. This is where you rebuild connection, not through grand gestures or empty words, but through consistent, visible leadership that she can feel. This is the system that's helped hundreds of men save their marriages, even when she said she was done. So think of it like forging steel. You can't just keep heating it up once and call it done. It takes heat, pressure, and repetition. Every swing of that hammer, every calm response, every consistent action shapes a version of you that's stronger than the one that she left. So here's the bottom line. You can't win her back with shortcuts. You can't beg your way into her heart. And you definitely can't talk your way back into trust. But you can become the man who's worth believing in again. The man who doesn't panic when things get hard. The man who leads with strength and safety and steadiness. The man that she can finally trust again because she's not waiting for perfect. She's waiting for proof. If this spoke to you, if you're tired of walking on eggshells, tired of guessing, and you're ready to lead with clarity and precision, then it's time to act. Click the link below, book your call with me and my team. We'll walk you through exactly how to rebuild trust, reignite connection, and lead your family back to safety using the heroic husband method. Don't wait for her to believe in you again. Become the man worth believing in. You've got this, brother. This pain doesn't have to be your ending. It can be your new beginning. Lead yourself first, and everything else will follow.